Or if it's me, like, Lord, if it's me, let me know. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year! So as you can tell from the title, I'm gonna be doing my makeup and talking a little bit about 2022, what we want out of the new year, and I'll be sharing a couple tips and suggestions on what I personally plan on doing to get this year started off right. So if you want to see me do my makeup and ramble a little bit, stay tuned. So I went ahead and did my brows already. I'm just gonna go in and color correct and we'll jump right in. And if you've been following me for a while, you know about this construction outside, child. So I hope it's not too distracting, but if you can hear it, I'm so sorry. So like I said, we're going to be getting into some of 2022's highs, lows, what could have been better, and then just how we want to improve overall in 2023. So I'm blessed to say that 2022 was actually an overall good year. If I had to rate it, it would probably be like an 8 out of 10. So yeah, just to do like a quick recap, I started grad school last January, did some traveling, a couple concerts here and there, went to a ton of women's empowerment type of events. So I went to multiple of those, and that's really what I wanted last year to be about, just creating connections, meeting new women in my area, making new friends. So I'm so happy that I was invited to some of those, attended different ones. So yeah, traveling, turned 24. That was the best birthday that I had. Of course, I started my YouTube channel, went out more, got 300 subscribers. My first PR was last year. I got promoted at work, just a whole bunch of different things. Not even trying to like brag or anything like that, but one of the themes this year, I really wanted it to be gratitude. And it's so easy for us to look at other people and be like, oh, well, all their accomplishments are like tangible and like have physical manifestations. But even if you like changed your mindset about something, or if you just did a lot of internal work and like self-improvement, that's still a huge accomplishment in itself. And so we want to like highlight all of our wins, no matter how big or small. So yeah, those were, ooh, let me go get my foundation. And I like actually went on dates and stuff last year. Not to say that I was intentionally dating, and I'll get into that a little bit more later, but I went on a lot of dates, figured out what I liked, what I didn't like, and what were my standards and what I valued in a person. So that was super helpful to me, just to know what we're not gonna do this year. But in terms of like things that I feel like could have been improved last year, a lot of it just boils down to me needing to trust myself a lot more the first time. So there'd be times where I like have a gut instinct and then I just like shy away from it because I want to give the person a chance, or I feel like I am being too dramatic, but I always be right, and that's the thing. So when I'm right, I need to trust that I'm right. Like another part of me is like, how much are you actually right, and then how much of it is you hoping for the worst and then like kind of manifesting like that worst possible outcome, if that makes sense. Like, or you think you're preparing yourself for a worst case scenario by being like cynical and things like that, but then you just like deprive yourself of what could have been a good experience. I hope I'm making sense, but I just need to find a balance between trusting myself and like actually giving myself enough space to enjoy the experience for what it is. So yeah, a lot of it came from just needing to learn to listen to myself more, trust my instincts more, and just overall like self-love. Like, for me personally, I didn't want to keep experiencing the same like toxic cycles. Like, once you figured out what a certain feeling is, like, girl, you know what this feels like, you've been here before. No need to feel bad about like dubbing a situation or just like cutting your losses early. So this year I definitely want to do more of that, more of choosing myself and not really feeling bad about letting a certain situation that doesn't serve me anyway go. Last year, I was also presented an opportunity for a 6-figure job, and it just put a lot of things into perspective. Like, I love where I work right now. Like, the whole reason I turned down that job, like the new offer for 6 figures, is because of the people that I work with. Like, right now, all of my coworkers, like my immediate coworkers, most of them are Black women that have been in the project management game for like 20 years or so. Like, I would never get that at any other company. Like, who knows, like maybe down the line I would like end up going there. I'm not gonna say it because who knows what could happen later, but it just wasn't gonna be it right now. And then I'm sure a lot of people have seen like what's been going on in the tech industry. It's just a lot of hoopla. So it's just like a lot of people are doing layoffs and you're telling me that you're hiring. The math not mathing, baby. So yeah, and then it ended up just not, like that offer just ended up not even being a lot more than what I'm making right now. So blessed that I didn't even have to be in like a situation where I like was forced to make a decision or forced to take that decision or take that jump. But yeah, a lot of it just comes down to what you want for yourself in terms of career. But yeah, that was just like another aspect to the whole theme of just like choosing situations that you know are going to serve you. Like being surrounded by a ton of women who are truly your advocates, who have been in your shoes and can teach you the game from literally your own perspective, has been such a blessing. So I'm glad to have been recognized by a type of company that wanted to offer me that much money in the first place. But I'm also like more than happy to stick around, gain some experience, add some more there's some more skills overall to my skill set, and just kind of see how it goes. Because the last thing I wanted was to jump to this company just because they are a big name and have it be like the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. And it was weird because like last year, one of my goals was to interview or end up at a company that is a household name, and that's exactly what I got. But once I was actually presented with the opportunity I was kind of like hesitant to like jump at it, which is so weird. So you honestly never know what you're gonna do in a situation until you're presented with it. And then if you haven't watched my video on Afrotech, that also contributed to like a reason why I wasn't really feeling it in terms of just like switching jobs. Cause like, yeah, just being around all those people who look like you, have been through your experiences, and like are such advocates for you in your professional journey is just priceless. And I know I'm not about to get that at some of these like other companies that are like totally male driven, white male driven to be exact. So yeah, I'm cooling on that for a second, but like I said, the bag is still bagging. I feel like I look orange, but child, I don't look orange here, but it's giving orange in my viewfinder, child. But in terms of just like making new connections and all of that, last year was also really good. I feel like I found my people in Charlotte, and I always know like who my girls are gonna be, who I can call on if I ever need anything. So that's also just been a blessing. And then connecting with women who are also trying to advance in their careers, advance in businesses, side hustles, and things like that. That's also been such a blessing. So I really want to continue building those relationships and just like fostering those relationships in the new year. And who knows, like I really want to eventually end up like as a speaker at one of those type of events, or throw my own for like professional development, or like, I don't know if I have a ton of experience with like being a creative just yet, so I don't think I could speak on that per se, but I'll be doing my thing when it comes to corporate. So I definitely want to like share some of that knowledge with people who might not be totally interested in going the creative route, but want to level up in their 9 to 5. And I'm not really sharing any of the details with like the products I'm using, but that foundation was NARS, and this is just LA Girl Pro Concealer. I go down with a little bit of that, and then this creaseless concealer from Tarte, and it's just a bit lighter, but I like the formula. It doesn't crease, so I put it closer to my under eye and blend it in with the rest of my concealer after I give it a second to dry down. So like I was saying before, in terms of areas to improve, I definitely want to continue, might not even be improving per se, but I definitely want to continue expanding my network out here, whether it be personally or professionally. I definitely want to continue making more women friends who are just on their shit and just want to advance in every aspect of life. So yeah, and then let me know what your word for the year is. If you already have a word, let me know. But my word for the year is consistency. I definitely want to show up more than I have been. Yeah, just like in everything. Consistency at work, school, the gym, content across like YouTube, TikTok, all the things. Just like making sure that I am showing up as my best self each and every time I am given the opportunity to do so. And don't worry if it's looking crazy right now, like trust the process, trust the process. This is exactly how chaotic I usually do my makeup on a normal basis. Just blend in with a brush first, and then I go in with a beauty blender. And then I spray it with a little bit of setting spray, just for a little oomph. So, all right, we getting somewhere, we getting somewhere. But on to what I'm sure a lot of people care about, dating. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm very particular, like I know exactly what I want and I haven't really deviated from the plan. So like I know exactly the type of man I'm looking for. So when it's not that, like visually, aesthetically, just like on paper, I'm not really like checking for you. I don't know how good that is, but I feel like it weeds out all the riffraff. Like I'm not with it. I'm not with it. If you don't have X, Y, and Z, I'm not really checking out. I don't know. So matchstick from Fenty Beauty in the color Espresso. But yeah, I'm not really checking for anybody that doesn't like match up to what I want, like physically or just like emotionally, things like that. But I did go out in terms of like dating a lot last year, and I really feel like Charlotte is the trenches. It's the trenches. I don't know if I'm just like not looking in the right places, or if it's me, like Lord, if it's me, let me know. But it's the trenches out here. So I don't know. I felt like I was just going out to go out. I was just going out to go out and like, shit. I was like, okay, sure. Just for like the experience and stuff. But it was just like people I knew I wouldn't like take seriously. So I want to do less of that because I really can't fake the funk for long. So yeah, I'm just like, if I'm not really rocking with you, there's no letting a person grow on me. Like I'm not doing that. Like if I'm not feeling you from the jump, it is what it is, and I'm so sorry, but it probably will never grow on me. And I saw a TikTok from this girl recently who was saying things like she's not entertaining attention that comes without intention. And her example was people that are just in your DMs but never want to like actually take you out, people that are so gassed and excited to see you in person, but if you're not constantly in their face, it's like you don't exist. And that makes a lot of sense, and I feel like I'm gonna start implementing that as well, because it's like the good prophet Beyonce said, I don't mind being desired by all men, but I would like to be desired by one.
I'm ready to be desired by one man, but I don't mind being desired by all.
So that's just kind of the energy I'm moving with. Like I'm not really in need of so much entertainment or like attention that I would just be going out with whoever. So yeah, and that was just kind of the shift that happened with me closer to the end of last year. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't like you. Why am I, like, why are we here right now? Like, you're cool as a friend, but I could tell that you want something that I don't. And a lot of the times people want to like make it feel like Black women should just be grateful, I guess, like appreciative to get anything. It's giving very much here, damn, and be happy with what you get. And it's just like, I don't like that, so I don't have to like accept that. Like, I don't have to accept that. And if it just takes, sorry, there's a hair on my face. And if it takes a little bit longer, if it gets boring, then so be it. But I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood to just deal with riff-raff. That's the word for the day, riff-raff. I'm not in the mood.
I don't want to link.
And I've done like all the things, like in terms of getting on the dating apps, having friends try to introduce me to like, well, not really, I haven't done that yet, but so I've been on the apps and it's still the trenches. So at this point, I'm just like, Lord, you know what I want. Me and you, big homie, me and you done talked about this. At this point, send him to me in the grocery store. Send him to me at the gym. Send him to me where you know where I be, because that's where I be. So at this point, I'm just not, but yeah, I'm just not really pressed. And once you've been like single and doing a lot of the self-work and just knowing who you are as a person, you really just don't have the patience for any nonsense. Like, if I feel like I'm forcing anything, you're done. If I told you that I'm not really a fan of certain behavior and you continue to do it, you're done. I'm very one and done right now. That's how I'm feeling. And again, it's a double-edged sword, because I'm just like, how do I balance that with like learning to be patient and learning to learn someone else? Because obviously nobody's gonna be perfect when you first meet them. You're gonna have to grow and learn each other and stuff. But at the same time, there's just certain things that are very indicative of behavior that is to follow. So any of like my red flags, any of the red flags start flagging, you're done. But hopefully I find my man this year, so I can my man y'all to death. Yeah, another thing that I was saying that I wanted to do this year, just wanted to be consistent across all platforms. And that includes here on YouTube. Like, I definitely want to grow my channel by so much. I have like a number in my head that I would love to reach at the end of the year. But I definitely want to move from posting once a week to maybe doing twice a week. And short forms of content are also like my thing. If you follow me on IG, you know that like I post a reel every now and then. So I'm thinking to lean more into TikTok and shorts here on YouTube and stuff, but just finding ways to post more and do it more consistently and with the same quality that I would give y'all in like a regular YouTube video. I feel like I've been blending forever. So in terms of just like goals or New Year's resolutions or whatever, I don't think I'm really into like resolutions, because there are some things that, like I said, in the second half of 2022, I started doing differently. And the new year just doesn't have to be a whole like stop and start type of vibe. So like, you don't have to stop one thing and like immediately pivot. If you found that something that you did last year works for you, by all means continue. Just crank up the intensity. A lot of the time people are essentially rushing to get their New Year's resolutions done and make it seem like they're making this huge change, but it does not have to be like that. You can take your time, lean into it. That's exactly why y'all get this video on like the 8th instead of like the very first day of January, because I wanted to take my time, figure out what I wanted to say, even though I'm rambling, and just like not feel like I have to hustle 24/7 and eventually become burnt out. So take your time, figure out what your goals are, and figure out practical ways to implement them, and give yourself like phases to like little steps that you can take to get to the goal. So it doesn't have to be one day I'm just gonna be at the goal. You have to break it down into little chunks that you know are feasible and literally just take it day by day. I'm not gonna share all of my goals because some of them are kind of personal, but some of the major ones are continuing with grad school, and potentially being done at the end of 2023 if all goes as planned. I want to start mentoring at my job. I want to like get promoted again and be in a position where I can start impacting younger full-time employees. Well, not maybe, they don't even have to be younger, because what I found is that some people like older than me have been like speaking words of encouragement, talking about like I'm like super wise for my age or whatever. So I definitely just want to lean into mentorship, being on more complex projects and stuff like that in terms of career. And again, as far as content creation, consistency, just posting more, getting to a certain number of followers and subscribers, getting some paid brand deals has always been a goal. And then turning this page, like this channel, into more of like a video diary, for lack of a better word, but just being more personable with y'all, a little more vulnerable, and finding a way to merge all of my life into this channel, because that was the whole point of Living La Vida Lola. Like, it's my entire not my entire identity, but just a way for me to document all aspects of who I am. So like that includes career, which I've been lacking on this channel. And honestly, I was just scared because I'm just like, I don't want anything I say to like be taken out of context or skewed the wrong way. But I definitely want to share like my experiences in corporate, what has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, and how I've gotten to where I am in like such a short time. Because I've only been out of school for less than 2 years, but I've made tremendous strides for someone who is young, Black, and in project management. So I definitely want to share that information for whoever like wants to see it. And just like sharing more of who I am and everything that I'm interested in. I thought like when I first started, I would have to like niche into a very specific thing. So I shared a lot of lifestyle. But last year was a whole lot of lifestyle content, so like vlogging and things like that. And that's cool, but again, it's just one aspect of who I am. Like, did y'all know I like to bake? Well, you probably did, but like all these other things. And I just feel like I've been doing myself a disservice not utilizing that and sharing like all of my gifts. So I definitely want to lean into that more. And then there are just some like financial goals that I want to reach. Some big purchases that I would love to be able to make this year as well. So we'll see. And of course, I'm gonna take y'all on that journey with me. Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I almost forgot. But just like more intentional dating and not being scared. Cause it's not even like I'm scared, but I had always shied away from like the backlash of just like rejecting someone, just for like various reasons that I'm sure women are all like aware of. Not being afraid to just be like, these are my non-negotiables, these are my value standards and all of that good stuff, and take it or leave it type of shit. Then lastly, another goal that I wanted to really get into was starting my day off more with gratitude and just in the word in general. So yeah, just doing a lot better about praying, journaling, showing God that I'm grateful to be where I'm at. And it does wonders for your mental health as well. Just taking some time out, like the first 10 minutes or so of your day, and just, or the last 10 minutes, just to think about 3 things that happened today that, you know, you're grateful for. I'm gonna be right back because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm gonna put my lashes on and I'll be right back. All right, so got my lashes on. These are Ardell Foaming Wispies. And I'm almost done because I'm not really doing a lot. I'm just going to run some errands real quick. In terms of just like steps or tips for success in 2023. I'm also just finishing up with some Fenty face powder. I cannot remember what the actual name is called, but I just use this all over my face. If you haven't already, create a budget for your finances. Just being able to see where all your money is going is extremely powerful. So wherever you can cut some of your costs, definitely do that, especially if you have some goals like I do in terms of just like finances and making big purchases. You definitely want to at least use January to track where your money is going and see what expenses are like frivolous or just like extra that you can live without, so you can actually start implementing those changes in February. Get into planning as well. I used to just use like a physical pen and paper planner, but I recently got an iPad, so I've definitely tapped into GoodNotes and have been using that like crazy. So, and that's been amazing in terms of just like making sure everything is neat and like tidy, and I can use it for school and things like that. So I don't have to like have multiple notebooks and different color pens and everything like that for taking notes. I will probably post a video on digital planning very, very soon. But I wanted to use this first week just to make sure like I knew what I was doing, right? So I can figure out what I like and dislike and like configuration settings, all of that. So I will share how I do mine probably in next week's video or like another time, but very, very soon, so stay tuned. Another tip I would have for the new year is just to reassess your circle of friends, and not even in a bad way, more like being open to new friends. So like, we all know that we have different friends for different situations, and if you are super into entrepreneurship or you want to be a creative or whatever, and nobody that you know is doing any of that, just know that it's going to take you much longer. The learning curve is going to be much steeper than if you had some people around you who are already knowledgeable about that, or can at least give you some like pointers and guidance and all of that. So just like be open to making new friends or just seeking out knowledge, putting yourself out there, because you just never know. Like, you are literally one person away from like making all of your dreams come true. And that sounds so corny. It sounds so cliche, but it is so true. And I'm not talking about being an opportunist. Like, make genuine connections, make genuine friendships, but make it make sense. And that kind of goes into my next point of not putting energy or going places where that aren't serving you. Not to say that your relationship should be like transactional. It's not a tit for tat type of thing, but you definitely shouldn't be drained or feel like depleted in any like aspect after engaging in a situation or with a person. If you're supporting somebody, they should definitely be doing their own fair share of supporting you. So like, just very much reciprocal. Go where the love is and where it is consistent and where it stays. You will cut down on the low quality experiences every single time you apply that rule. Just go where the energy is matched, where it's reciprocated, where you know you are both lifting each other up, both supporting each other, both finding ways that you guys can make each other better. And that just go across the board for relationships, friendships, any type of like interpersonal relationship. And you'll just like figure out that you deserve so much more. Like, people will adhere to your standards. They will treat you how you want to be treated the first time. So continue to just stick to your word and remove access to yourself as needed. But yeah, I'm gonna do my hair, come back, and then close out with my final points and thoughts for the video. Sorry about the change in lighting, it was getting dark. I hope something that I shared resonated with you, or you found something valuable that you can take and apply into your new year. But I'm super excited and ready to get this year started on a good foot. I hope you guys are too. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, all of them things, okay? Leave me a comment down below about what you're excited for in the new year, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.